Good evening, Livio, Regano with tonight's weather. Severe thunderstorms are just starting to pop up across southern Queensland, and the whole state's expecting more rain in the days to come, hopefully leading into a cool change eventually. This heat-humidity combination is getting quite ridiculous, and most of us are over it, especially the nights. With the Pacific Ocean sitting on 28 degrees, I don't think March is going to be a lot better. On the satellite loop now, thunderstorms have been slow to get going across the southern interior. There was a very good setup this afternoon if you looked at the balloon traces, and we were just waiting for the cap to be broken, in other words for it to get hot enough for air to just suddenly fall up. It's taken a little while, but they're starting to get going now, and watch out for a few more tomorrow migrating into central Queensland as well. You can see them right across along the inland trough, and if you look at today's chart, you'll see that inland trough. It's basically just behind the Great Dividing Range, and it's the dividing line between the moist northerly air, very hot at the moment, and the cooler southerly air behind it. On tomorrow's chart, the trough moves into southeast Queensland in the form of a cool change, sending off a few more storms, and there'll also be some reasonably heavy falls in the tropical inland. And now the latest from the Weather Bureau. The boating forecast for Sunshine Coast waters, north to northwest winds 15 to 20 knots, then with a south-southeasterly change in the afternoon. Friday, southeast 10 to 15 knots, and Saturday picking up again to 25. Surf's up to 3/4 of a metre, and though it's an east-southeasterly swell, the northerly breeze is making for choppy conditions at Noosa and Alex. Now the next high tide's due tomorrow morning, with a lesser tide in the late evening. Both modest tides, but getting bigger each morning in the lead up to Monday's new moon. The southeast coast district, slight chance of a shower or storm again tomorrow. Maroochydore 23 to 32 degrees, Nambour 33, Gympie 35. And looking ahead for Maroochydore, Friday's cool change will hopefully bring our temps back to average for the weekend, with increased rainfall spilling over into next week from an upper level trough. A little bit of hot weather trivia. The world record for the highest ever true shade temperature. Formerly 58 degrees in Libya, this 1922 record has been recently brought into question, and the honour could end up going to Death Valley, California, for its slightly more mellow 57 degrees in 1913. Even more contentious is the Australian record. Allegedly 53.1 at Cloncurry, this measurement was made back in 1889 when they used beer crates to house their thermometers, and there's compelling evidence the reading was false. The only sure record is Oodnadatta's 50.7 in 1961. That record was very nearly broken during the recent bushfires and is highly likely to be broken in the next 10 years.
When you live 50 degrees, goodness me, and we're complaining. That wraps it up. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. And a reminder, the replay on 7:2 in a moment. From the team, take care. Good night.